All Progressive Congress has advised the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, to stop his continuous blackmail of President Bola Tinubu if the Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and the Judiciary over the recent judgment stopping allocation to the state, saying sentiments can never trump facts in the face of the law. Caretaker committee of the party in Rivers State, Antonio Kocha, who spoke at a news conference on Friday in Abuja, said Fubara's attempt at blackmail will not save his sinking political career. Okocha also described Fubara as Nyesom Wike's investment, adding that Wike practically lifted the governor from political obscurity. He said, Wike brought Fubara to where he is today. He lifted him from obscurity to political crescendo. Nobody is suffocating anybody. The fight in Rivers State is between Sim Fubara and Sim Fubara. According to him, the political crisis in Rivers State would have ended if Governor Fubara had obeyed President Tinubu's intervention. When asked for the way out, the APC caretaker chairman said the governor must obey the law of the land, including the law regarding budget of a state. He said, as a political party, the All Progressive Congress will stand with and by the judgment of the court because it is what will hold sway in the civil society. It is the court, not one man's morality. We are also using this opportunity to speak against the attempts to disparage innocent persons, namely Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister. In all the cases in court, there are about 2 cases in which he is not a party to any. Why bring in the president also? He queried. On the recent attempt by some stakeholders and elders in the Niger Delta to reconcile the gladiators in Rivers crisis, Okocha said such move was already belated. He said, I say it is foolishness for anyone to cry when the head is off. There is also this aphorism that you don't cry over a spilled milk. Where have these elders been? Where? The matter is narrowing down, if you ask me, because the only other hurdle to escape is the Supreme Court. What are the elders coming to do at this late hour, if they actually would want to come? What are they coming to do? They are the same people who told the governor that you are a know-all and do-all. They encouraged the governor to believe that his head was bigger than his pillow. They were the ones, they told him, look, your powers are elastic. What can you not do? And the governor agreed to that, and today the inquiry man tells you that not everybody that comes to plan your building will be part of the building. No, a lot of them have disappeared into thin air. At the time, they came to counsel the governor against the decision that he signed to. And the governor is on the hot seat. So to say to you that I don't see that working is way, way too late. But I wish we want peace. Simple thing. See, the only way to bring peace is to follow the law. Judge,
yeah,
you were nodding your head vigorously while I was reading this story. I don't see. And he said 2 major things. First of all, he accused the governor of blackmailing the president, the FCT minister, and the judiciary. That's on one hand. And he also said that it was too late for anything to be done. And from Tony Okocha's statement, it is clear that he holds the view that political solution to this crisis is belated for political solution. And he also took a swipe at PANDEF. You know, because PANDEF, led by Chief Edwin Clark, has been very vocal at the early stage of the conflict, even towards the late stage of the conflict. And he has been very vocal against the FCT minister, and he has written several letters to the president calling for the sack of the FCT minister, calling for the FCT minister to be called to order. He has said so many things. And now the same PANDEF wants a reconciliation. And I have asked more than once, do you see that happening? So I want you to periscope into the different issues that Tony Okocha raised and also addressed during his press conference.
Well, the position that Chief Tony Okocha took is exactly, what every right-thinking reverse man who understands the challenges that has, bedeviled the state from last year, October, to this day, would take. We all called for political solution because we knew that when the matter becomes a legal solution, it becomes a winner takes it all. But political solution is a give and take thing. You compromise, they shift position, shift ground. At the end of the day, it becomes a win-win for all parties. So when the matter became so heated, it became, an opportunity for some elders to reach out, including the governor himself. And they went to the presidency. President Bola Tinubu drafted that peace pact, and they all signed. The governor was the first person to even sign. And when he came back, he said there was nothing too much for peace. There's nothing too much to give as long as peace will reign. Which people who felt that, okay, he actually was in to ensure that there is peace in Rivers State. But along the line, these same elders who I call the enemies of Rivers State, were the ones that reached out to him and made him to realize that, like Tony Okocha said, his head is bigger than the pillow. They felt he, as the governor, he has a lot of enormous powers. He has a lot of powers that, he can do and undo and things like that. So that is what has kept this state where it is today. Because the governor has refused to abide by court orders. He has refused to implement court judgments. He felt that because he has immunity, he can do anything. In fact, that Rivers State, as one of the federating units of Nigeria, is like an entity that can govern itself without, any interference from anywhere. So he felt as the governor, he was all and all. Today, with the, different court judgments that keep coming, it has become so apparent to everybody, right-thinking people, that the governor is sinking. The same people who we are massaging his egos are now the ones calling for political solution. I mean, you don't cry over a speed make. One of my bosses then, these days when I was growing up, would tell me, if you want to take any action, first weigh the consequences that will come from that actions. If it is something you can bear, please, with all intent and purposes, go into it fully. So that when the thing backfires, when the consequences come, you would have told yourself that you knew that this is what will come, and you'll be able to carry it. And you carry it without, involving others. If it is something you cannot bear, please do not engage. So it's unfortunate that, our governor felt that he was all and all, and today these same men who led him astray are the ones coming to do what? The matter has crossed the Rubicon. At the point where it is now, it is for Supreme Court to rule. A winner takes it all. If Supreme Court rules to say that Governor Fubara and his assemblymen and all what he has been doing is right, so be it. Let him take charge and run his government. If they rule otherwise too, of course, at that point, he will not have any other thing to say, I cannot implement, because it is no longer his, position to implement or not. So, coming back to what Tony Okocha has said here, is written. At this point, there's no more negotiation of solution. Who even brokered this peace? The presidency that did earlier before now, and you tore it into shreds as if it doesn't make any meaning. You want to go back there? Or who? The same elders who, when this matter came up, felt that Fubara, the governor, should just eliminate Wike completely, eliminate politically. That's what I mean. So that's because it has not happened that way. How do they have the moral rectitude to go meet, trying to see how they can reconcile these two brothers? It's no longer working. It's not tenable anymore. It is for the court to decide. And once the court decides, because whether you like it or not, the decision of the court will be so landmark that it will become a reference point tomorrow. So at this point, you cannot withdraw this matter. The court should give a judgment so that tomorrow a governor can not come to say, okay, I'm the all and all. If you do not, the truth is Nigerian politicians need to follow the law. If the governor had followed the law from the beginning, we will not be here. We will not be here. Sometimes you can make a mistake, and you find out that if you allow this thing to fester, to be exhausted in the law course, it will be against me and it will be worrisome. You can call for political solution. You can call for out-of-court settlement. I know I've heard here. You too, see where you do this. Let's see how we can reconcile our differences. It's a give and take thing. And the matter will die a natural death. Because it is, if you don't take anything to court, the court will not have anything to decide on. The court is there waiting for you to bring. If you don't bring anything, any matter before them, they will not adjudicate on it. So, but because the matter has reached this level, and if you knew all this while, a lot of things have happened. A lot of water have crossed under the bridge, where I will not say the governor commissioned, but those who are attached to him, those who are working for him, who are supporting him, have, turned the minister of the FCT into ridicule. They have ridiculed the man to the point where even if he wanted to say, okay, let's shed these things and see how we can, it will not become difficult. That is the level it has gotten to. So at this point, let the law take its course. We are waiting for the Supreme Court to do justice to the matter, and whatever verdict they come up with, of course, we don't even have a choice to accept it.
Now, at this point, now you are resting everything on the angle. You are taking Tony Okocha's side in this. You're siding Tony Okocha's argument that political solution is belated.
Of course, it is. It is. Look at the different stages. People have suffered for this past period when this matter, has been reading. People keep suffering. People's salary were withheld. People's allocation were withheld. A whole lot of things happened.
The 27 lawmakers whose salaries have been withheld for 1
year.
For
over 1 year. Have you bothered to ask how they have been managing? Not only salaries, the kind of things that may have been happening to those people. I mean, for some of them to still be alive today, we give glory to God. So a whole lot has happened. We had time, ample time to, nip this in the bud. We had an ample time. And God so kind, it happened. Unfortunately, the same enemies of state, the same people who felt that the minister was high-handed and therefore he should be eliminated politically, were the ones pushing the governor. They were there pushing the governor. And you also listen to them, acting on whatever advice they gave to him. Today, you expect anybody to call for political solution. Who will call for this? Is it me or you? Who will call for this political solution?
Now, the thing is, let's look at the body language of the governor for a minute. Because now, it's one thing calls have been made severally for political solution. The question would be, from the body language of the governor, do you see the governor as somebody that want political solution at this point? Because Okojombo, I think yesterday, even came out to make fresh calls for INEC to conduct elections to fill the seats of the 27 lawmakers. That was just yesterday. That's on one hand. The Commissioner for Budgets and Planning, Professor Peter Mede, has also come out to say that anybody thinking that the 2024 budget will be presented to Martin Samehule is living in illusion, right? And he said that the government will not do that. And he built his argument on the fact that this budget has almost expanded its lifespan. It's in the final stages, right? And most of the allocations in the budget has been expended to a large extent. He built on that, and he said this when there was a public sighting for the 2025 budget. And the governor, in his own statements over time, has said they are in line, pushing forward, preparing the 2025 budget to be presented to Okojombo.
Like the question you asked me is, which
the
activities still ongoing, does it appear that the governor is a man who would want a political solution
at this point?
Obviously, it still goes to show that ego is taking major part of the governor. From the ruling of the High Court, which he never believed, he went to appeal. With the choice of word used by the appeal court justices, 3 of them, that should have sent a clear signal to the governor that I'm heading towards perdition. But those same persons, and in crisis situation, there are people who benefit immensely from it. And once that crisis ends, their benefit stops. So they would not want their benefit to stop. They keep cooking. They keep coming up with things. But the finality of this matter is the Supreme Court. Frankly speaking, if the governor appears to be a man who actually wanted, peace, who actually wanted to resolve this matter out of the court, even after the failed peace pact by the president, that he failed to implement major part of it, which is the reason why...
Well, his argument was that the peace pact was
not constitutional.
It was not constitutional, so you can't force him to implement what he doesn't want to. And that argument is very valid.
Good. It's very valid, but look at where we are today. It can be valid when you're on the side of the law, my dear. If you're on the side of the law, and because the political solution, the peace pact, is not constitutional, it's not that you can decide whether to accept or not. But that also shows that he's not a gentleman. Why did he sign? Since it's not valid. He appended his signature. He knew that it was not valid. He could have said, okay, I will not sign this. It is at my own discretion to implement or not. He signed. For you to have signed, endorsed anything, what that means is that you've put in everything you have into it. He came back after signing to say where it is at his discretion to implement or not. Fine and good. It's not constitutional. But he forgot that he was not on the side of the law. He was deceived. He was deceived.
But the governor said he was shot in the foot. He was ambushed, if I may use this word.
Who ambushed him?
He said he was ambushed by the other... the warring faction, the people he is having issues with, because he said that he trusted in the peace pact. He had implemented some, even withdrew his counter affidavit in court. And after he withdrew his counter affidavit in court, Martins Amehule and others did not withdraw their suit. And that led to Justice Omotosho giving judgment in favor of Martins Amehule, because the governor had waived his rights over that matter by withdrawing his counter affidavit.
Let me tell you something. The presidential peace pact had about, I think, 8 items on it. Some of it was for. The others were against, either for governor or for the assembly members. Now, they asked the governor to withdraw, in fact, all the parties to withdraw their legal, whatever matter they have in court that are bordering on that. They all agreed to that. They asked the governor to re-represent the budget, which means that if he has done that, he would have recognized by his action that the Martin Amehule-led Rivers State House of Assembly is the authentic assembly. They asked the assembly to withdraw the impeachment notice. The assembly did by withdrawing the impeachment notice. Like, this is a game of chess. If they had, with an open mind, to withdraw all the court case, look at what the governor would have done by saying that the peace pact is unconstitutional. It is at his discretion to either honor it or not. So imagine they have withdrawn that suit from Justice Omotosho's court. What would have happened? Just tell me what would have happened today. They would have no case. They would have no case. And the man would have used them the way he likes. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. They withdrew the impeachment notice to show that, okay, we abide by what the president has, brokered. The governor readmitted those who resigned. That is the commissioner who resigned from his government. He reappointed them into office. He went and withdrew his counter affidavit on the matter before Justice Omotosho. This man withdrew the impeachment notice on him. Now, re-represent the budget, he refused. At that point, people were telling you cannot do that again. So it was on that note that Martins Amehule and the others now realized that this man will not implement all what was asked, including conducting local government election. So they knew that these are politicians. They knew that he was not straightforward, so they also waited for him. So not that he was ambushed. Who ambushed him? When he failed to do what he was supposed to do? From his utterances to say that that thing is not constitutional. It is whether he likes or not. It shows that he was not actually, he wasn't sincere in the signing of that peace pact. So I'm not having any kind of pity when it comes to issues like this.
You're not having any kind
no,
of...
No, for him, I'm not.
For the governor?
No, but for anybody who finds himself in that kind of a position, you had every opportunity to resolve the matter. By now, you would have seamless, governance. He's a fortunate person. He's so lucky, to become the governor of Rivers State at the time he became. He would have become one of the best also if this crisis did not come up. That is my understanding of the kind of person. But unfortunately, he listened to people who never meant well, who, because of their hatred for one man, it beclouded their senses of judgment for them not to understand what the issues are. And they misled the governor and led him astray. Today, look at where we are. I pray. I really pray. I pray.
What is your prayer?
Let me just hang it there. Let me not say much.